Claire, let's move swiftly on. Was Keir Starmer trying to make a big noise? His plans to abolish the House of Lords have had some kick.
We're going to do private schools to end on.
Yeah, sure.
That's all right.
Yeah.
He's throwing back on that, Claire,
Yes.
and he was saying that he doesn't want to abolish them. And actually, there are some good ones he managed to come out with on the Today programme yesterday morning.
It's amazing how his position can change so quickly, especially when somebody highlights his own education. I think that the argument over taxing private schools is lazy. I don't think we need to have it. I don't think it's going to solve any problems. It's not as if he has said to put VAT on private school fees is going to be ring-fenced and put into the education system for the benefit of others. So I think this is one of those arguments that he's going to back down on really quickly. And as we've seen, he's already stated that he thinks they're great and people should have the choice to be able to put their child into a private school, but he wants to tax them into oblivion at the same time.
I think that's the problem, isn't it? Because it's going to squeeze those middle earners, those people who were just about managing, those independent schools, I think, you know, locally, the sort of Wimbledon Highs or the Putney Highs, and the only ones that will survive will be the big Eatons or whatever else that has a huge amount of foreign money, Chinese students. It'll be the British kids, the local sort of affordable ones that are squeezed out, and then there's a higher burden on the state, Amy.
I just think this is really interesting off the back of the High Street story, though, right? Because if I were a local business owner running a small shop on a high street, I'd be questioning why private schools aren't paying VAT. I have to charge VAT on all the services that I provide. I think it's really difficult to make an ethical argument for VAT not being applied to private school fees. Private schools are not a public good, and any attempt to present them as such is really misleading. Well, they're not a public good. The vast 7% of the UK population go to private school, and yet those people that do are so wildly overrepresented. Cabinet is 61% privately educated,
Labour
I think.
Quite a few Labour boy ones went 1 in 7. So
I'm not going to defend. I'm not going to defend Keir Starmer on this one. I think that he is flip-flopping on this. I think they need to come out and say that private schools should absolutely be paying their way. And unsurprisingly for me, longer term, I think we need to have a conversation about the role they play in general.
How about we raise up the standard of state education rather than punishing those that pay for private education for their children? Why not raise those levels of educational attainment?
Those two things are not mutually exclusive, right? I think we can both be raising up the standards of the public education system, which we absolutely should. But I think in these economic times, many of you viewers will be looking at the fact that there's no VAT on private school fees and questioning why. Who's that benefiting? And it's not the majority of the British population.
It benefits those hard-working parents who save and scrimp everything to get their kids to what they see to have a better chance, a better start in life, and it would affect those marginal families, not the overseas students, not the Etonians. So it does price out. And it also stops the state having to educate an extra, they estimate, around 90,000 children. But my question would be, you know, what happens when we start penalising all of these schools and we end up just creating divisions amongst children? We're creating this kind of... Is it a class war, an ideological war, that of all the things to choose that surely is going after? Why are we talking about this? I don't understand.
But surely nothing divides children more than separating them at school age into the haves and the have-nots.
Well, no one was talking about it before and people were getting on with it.
This is a hugely popular...
I really don't.
You don't think children in private school notice that they're not being surrounded by children of different backgrounds? You don't think that shapes how they think about the world?
They don't look at it and say, oh, well, I'm here and I don't have any friends from a working class background in a private school. No,
but that should be a problem, right? Martin, I'm really surprised by you. You're always repping the working classes.
No, listen, I went to a comprehensive. I'm a coal miner's son. I love comprehensives, but I also have no beef with private schools. I think Starmer scored an own goal. It's the politics of envy. I think it makes the Labour look like what everyone thinks they are. They're against aspiration and they're against people with privilege. I think it's sending out the wrong message. That's just me. Anyway.
It is a divisive issue. And look, nobody wants a two-tier system. Wouldn't it be a wonderful world where we could just all guarantee our kids had a great education and those who wanted to send them privately didn't have to feel bad that the kids in the rest of the sector are getting a terrible deal?